Cafe. Nostalgia, let the memories bloom. All these stories in my head are gonna make me go boom. Kick back and relax, turn the fire to the max, bob your head until you're dead. Yeah! Yeah! Kick back and relax, turn the fire to the max, bob your head until you're dead. Yeah!
Gokikenyo minasama! You're probably wondering why I'm doing the intro. It's because Matt wants to be a hoe, and he is out. So instead of the normal lineup where I'm barely here, and it's normally Matt and Chris, I'm here for the second week in a row. Holy shit. And I'm with Chris this week. What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm barely surviving.
All right. You and me both, brother. Fun fact, you will for sure not be with me next week. So, Chris, you have a week to catch up fully on everything you need to catch up on.
I will definitely try.
Welcome to another edition of Otalku Cafe. Again, I'm Ethan, co-CEO, barely, not by much. And joining me is Chris, who we've now promoted instead of the guy who, what is this guy who, Mugues. We'll talk about that. Fucking
Matt told me to say that all throughout the stream, but I was like, I'll just leave it there so it's a constant reminder. That's more effective.
Jesus fuck. Who we've now promoted to fucking head manager of the Otaku Cafe in my absence, since he's always taking care of shit that I'm forgetting or not being able to do. So all right, we've got a loaded show for you guys. We are going to talk about our normal stuff like we have been throughout the season, and we're going to kick it off like we normally do with some news and notes. Shouldn't be that much news and notes, but we do have something quite fun, not really, at the end of the news and notes section. We'll start off news and notes. Novel Tori Sukare Otoko receives a movie for fall 2025. Looks like this is the synopsis. Giuseppe is a young man who tends to get completely absorbed in whatever catches his interest. Because of this, the townspeople call him Tosikure Otoko. Sorry, my bad. One day he falls in love at first sight with a girl named Pechka, who sells balloons but seems to carry quiet sadness. Waiting for her to help, Giuseppe and his mouse companion Cilo start using the skills he's picked up over the years to secretly solve the problems weighing on her heart. This looks fucking adorable. This sounds like something I might watch. Looks like this musical anime. Oh, it's a musical anime movie. Will open in theaters in Japan in fall 2025. What was that, Chris?
I haven't heard of it before.
This looks kawaii as fuck, though. Can't even hold you. And that's it really for the news over the last week or so. There's not a hell of a lot of news. There is one piece that we'll go over, the not so fun but kind of fun part, and that is Crunchyroll's Anime Awards. The abomination, as far as we're concerned, of the Crunchyroll.
People need to get bullied more. I've been saying this for a while. People need to get bullied again. How many awards did Solo Leveling win?
Let's go over them. We'll start off with the main one, which is Anime of the Year. That one, Solo Leveling Season 1. Keep in mind, Solo Leveling Season 1 beat Don to Don at number 2, Delicious in Dungeon at number 3, Free In at 4, and Kaiju at number 5.
Wait, that was just Season 1?
Season 1? No, I lied. These are nominees. Never mind. This isn't the placement. I thought I lied. Yeah, no. Solo Leveling 1. It was just Season 1. It wasn't even Season 2.
2024 winner of the... Okay, got it. Man.
Yeah. Chris's reaction says it all, folks.
Man, I think I'm gonna be a pirate again.
Oh my god. Looking back, film of the year, which I'm super thrilled about, Look Back, was the film of the year for 2025 anime awards. You saw Look Back, right, Chris?
No, I did not.
Oh, you need to. It's so fucking good.
Well, it's on Amazon Prime, so I'll be able to watch it there.
Yeah, dude, watch it. It's short. It's 45 minutes. It's not a happy ending like most animes and most movies. It is a pretty shit, like sad ending. So, but it was really impressionable. Really happy that this choice won. Ahead of My Hero, Haikyuu, Spy Family. The Colors Within I had heard about, but didn't see anything. And then
I
Mononoke.
saw that.
The Colors Within.
Yeah, it's not that great.
I love that. It's not that great. All right. Global Impact Award went to Attack on Titan for the final season. Congrats to them. Nothing to say negative about that, really. Best continuing series was Demon Slayer, season 4, I guess. Best new anime, Solo Leveling. Best original anime. Do you remember what it was?
I don't.
Ninja Kamui.
Oh,
Ninja Kamui won the Crunchyroll Award for Best Original Anime over Buchigiri, Girls Band Cry, Jellyfish King Twin.
But wait, hold on. Ninja Kamui wasn't even on Crunchyroll.
And it beat Girls Band Cry, Jellyfish, Buchigiri, Metallic Rogue, which I thought it was better than, and Train to the End of the World. Chris is gonna sign off now that I said that.
I'm glad. No. I'm gonna say something controversial, but so true. I'm glad Texas is banning like underage anime from being streamed. That means that Crunchyroll's gonna have to move out of Texas. Fuck them.
It's fucking wild, right? Continuing on, best animation, Demon Slayer, not bad. That's cool. Best character design was Dandadan, so that's cool. Cool. Best director was Keiichiro Saito for Frieren. So that's good. Best background art, Frieren. Best romance was Blue Box, which I was really thrilled with. Really thrilled with that. This beats Scott Pilgrim, which everyone says is not an anime, but it was nominated in the Anime Awards, so go ahead and fuck yourself. Ranma 1/2, Too Many Losing Heroines, A Sign of Affection, and Dangers in My Heart Season 2. So some strong contenders, not gonna lie. So Blue Box won. That's cool. Best comedy, Mashal Season 2. So that's fantastic. What else? Best action, Solo Leveling. Best isekai, ReZero. Best drama, Frieren. Best slice of life, Too Many Losing Heroines. This beat Nokotan, Sound Euphorium, Dangers in My Heart, Mr. Villain's Day Off, and Laid Back Camp. Main character, best MC, season 1 version of Jinwoo. This beat Frieren, Kafka, Okarun, Mao Mao, Momo, and yeah, he won. Moving on. Best supporting character, Fern. I'm with that.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, Fern beat Himmel, Jinshi, Psycho from Dandadan, Senshi, and Turbo Granny. The Must Protect All Cost winner, Anya from Spy Family Season 2. Best anime song, Otonoke by Creepy Nuts for Dandadan.
Oh.
This beat the theme song for Kaiju 8. The other Creepy Nuts song, Bling Blang Born by Creepy Nuts for Mashal. Fatal for Oshino Ko. Level for Solo Leveling. Otonoke by Creepy Nuts is the winner again, as I said. And The Brave for Frieren. So, it's pretty catchy. I give them that. Yo, Creepy Nuts is on fucking fire. They really are. Best anime score as a whole, Solo Leveling. That be Bleach, Dandadan, Demon Slayer, Frieren, Look Back, and Solo Leveling again won. Best anime opening sequence, Otonoke by Creepy Nuts. Best anime ending sequence, Request for Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling's ED won over Ranma 1 halves, Oshino Ko's, Elusive Samurai, Kaiju number 8, and Dan Da Dan. Best Japanese voice actress, Aoi Yuki for Mao Mao. Best anime voice artist performance, we don't have to worry about Arabic, Brazilian, Catalan, and Spanish. We'll go with dub. We'll go with English dub. Alex Lee as Sung Jinwoo is the winner for the dub for best dub voice actress this year.
I can agree with that, especially seeing his good outtakes for the Arise line.
I haven't seen that. That'll be funny.
Oh, that is hilarious. Hold on, I'm sending that to the group chat.
And then the rest of them are just the different ones for Catalanian, Latin, Spanish, Portuguese, German, Italian, Arabic, and French. Much congratulations to all of them and all of the award winners. And Chris's thoughts echo many of my sentiments as well. So, alas, here we are. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and get into solos. I have far less solos than what I normally would have, thanks to Chris. Is watching the majority of my stuff, so I love that for me. I have not lost my solos. Here they are. Okay, cool. Okay. Normally I would cover the following 3 with Matt, but he's not here, so we're gonna cover them. First, we'll go with ZatsuTabi. ZatsuTabi, not a lot really in this episode this week, I would say. The girls make it off the night train, and we see what's her face, whose name I'm forgetting because she's that memorable. Where the fuck is ZatsuTabi? Here we go. Chika. Chika doesn't get motion sickness, so that's fantastic. And basically, they just do their typical thing. You know, they go around Hiroshima. You see them have different bentos, have different moments. You see Senpai and Kohai. You see Fuyune and Yui. They basically they form a tighter bond. They get closer, and that's all nice and lovely. And basically that's about it for the most part. As you know, ZatsuTabi is really just a Japanese tourism infomercial. That's all the anime is. So
which is why I dropped it. It was really boring.
It's there. It's there.
It's there. I just can't sit through it for like 23 minutes at a time.
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm like, clearly the way you hear the way I'm describing this, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so intently like observant.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I don't mind it because in my spare time, I watch Japanese travel videos on YouTube. So it fits the bill from that perspective, especially since how accurate they are for the most part. So it works. Anyway, that's about it for ZatsuTabi. Not a lot to add. We'll go with Killing Slimes for 300 years. That one was okay. 300 Slimes. Type that in so I can start reading about it. This week was a beach episode for those who are watching. And basically they go to the South Beach, in essence, of the country to get away from the chilly mid-country as they're starting to approach fall and winter. They try to go swimming, and the entire sea is infested with jellyfish. And no one can do anything about the jellyfish. And while they're trying to figure out what to do about the jellyfish, they end up seeing a very interesting woman on the beach. This woman is trying to sell her paintings. And they're like, oh, what do you paint? And they start looking, and she paints the most absolutely depressing shit you can imagine. The most like sad, like horror-filled like things that you would see. And basically she's like, oh, you know, like and we find out later that she likes painting like the sound of the looks of despair and agony and loneliness in people, which is quite lovely. But in any case, we find out also that not only is she a painter, but she is a what's it called? She is a jellyfish whisperer. And so basically they task her to part the jellyfish like Moses parted the Red Sea, and they're allowed to swim. And so they swim and they have a great time. And she even does some powers where she makes the jellyfish glow before they're supposed to glow. And that's really nice. And you see nice green glowing jellyfish, look like they are all radioactive, but all good, no big deal. And basically the girl thanks them as well, saying that I just squished my fucking finger. That hurt. Rip. Damn it, that hurt. Sorry, guys. Anyways, the girl thanks her and basically says, hey, you've given me new inspiration for some new paintings. I'm going to open an exhibit coincidentally pretty soon, and here's some free tickets. Bring you, your friends, and everybody else you want to bring along, and we'll check it out. And they're like, gee, thanks. And they decide to bring in the demon party as well. So all the girls go to the exhibit, and they see it's a nicely like built place, and very nicely displayed. And they look for their paintings, and they're all depressive. They're all getting killed by waves or tentacle monsters or drowning. They're all just miserable. And they're like, what the hell, dude? And the demon princess, whose name I forget, Beelzebub, I remembered it now. Beelzebub looks at one of the paintings that's not related to the sad paintings that she had just recently painted, and was trying to put her finger on it. And she basically says, like, yeah, I was just trying to capture like an image in the background. And her people were like, hey, this is the tomb for a like very powerful leader of some descript or whatever. I wasn't paying 100% attention. And so they're like, we should check it out. But so basically we get Azusa and Beelzebub and a couple of the girls, basically not too many of them, because they don't want to have anything happen to the other girls, since this is like some powerful like unknown dark tomb or whatever. They head over to the tomb location, which was, they couldn't find it at the time, which that's why Beelzebub was so interested in it. So they go there, they see this leader's subjects, and basically they ask them to help. I think they ask to help her, like guide her to some like peaceful end, as she's already dead or something. And the episode ends with them trying to basically go find this leader and help ease her into the next life, I think is what it is. Again, it's just there. It is what it is. What do we got next? Moving on, we get Shiunji Family. Shiunji Family is a solid episode. I would say a very solid episode this week. Let me find what was written. Shiunji Family. All right, this week Shiunji Family, quite hilarious. I started my caption with "Hey step bro" on our anime Instagram page, Eat the Cake Anime. But in any case, it was pretty solid. Like I said, long story short, from this episode, Minami is starting to really catch feelings for Arata. She's very antsy around him, trying to like figure out what's next, replaying all the like nice words he said to her in her head. And basically, the episode focuses a lot on two things. First thing is Banri. Banri basically forgets something at her like nurses college and asks Arata to come with her. And they have like this like creepy thing because she's afraid of ghosts, where they're walking the dark hallways, and Banri is like clasping onto him with like his arm fully between her tits. And obviously Arata feels a certain type of way about that. And then basically they try to hide from a guard. So he basically comes from behind Banri, grabs her like waist and covers her mouth, drags her to a corner, and they wait for the guard to go. And then Arata realizes, I'm squishing her tits and she's so soft. And he lets her go. And basically Banri's like fully flush. Her ears are flush. And she's like, I thought like my teasing finally broke you. And I thought you were like, you couldn't take my teasing anymore and you were making a move on me. She's like, but of course you wouldn't, right? And so we had that, and they go to the club room, and what Banri had left in the club room was a doll. Arata was like, hey, like I didn't know you liked dolls. And she's like, well, I personally am not like a doll person. But she basically starts giving him the story of why she got into nursing college and why she joined her club. Because Arata, again, didn't know that she was in a club herself. And basically, when she first got into nursing school, she was doing a tour, and she noticed there was like many sick children. And some of them, were playing with each other. Some of them were pretty lonesome and looked really grim, but they're all like long-term, like children's hospital patients. And basically she saw the work that the club did to like put smiles on their faces, read them stories, bring them little toys and dolls and stuff. And she fell in love with that principle. And so she immediately went to the club and she asked about it and she joined. And she's been like, sewing dolls and things for the kids. And we basically find, when it's all said and done, that she gave the dolls to the kids after everything. And it's really nice, really wholesome, like really sweet. And we find how, nice of a girl Banri really is, right? She's not just like the Gairu type of like flirty girl. Like, no, she has her head on her shoulders really well. And she also mentions another part of why she chose to be a nurse in the first place is basically when she was young and their mother was in the hospital, it was just her and their father. And they would leave her mother, and she would be upset that she didn't want to leave her mother and seeing her mother sick. And she was in a corner crying one day alone, and a nurse came and comforted her and talked to her and made her feel better. And she's like, wow, these nurses are so like special and powerful, like they mean so much. And that's what shifted her to really want to become a nurse in her life. So again, really powerful, really nice stuff from that perspective. It was really sweet. The second half, and the more important half, I would say though, of the episode basically focuses on Oka in particular. Oka basically midway through the episode confronts Kotono and basically was like trying to gauge like how real the feelings were. So she confronts Kotono and Kotono confronts her back, admitting like, hey, I was in the closet when you and Artha had that moment in the game room where he was on top of you and you looked like you were ready to like fuck him and shit. And she also overheard him when she had written "I love you" and she had saw the message that was sent between them. So confronts her with all this stuff and asked Oka straight up, like, do you like him like more than a brother? Do you like him like a man? And Oka lies and was like, no, of course not. You're crazy. Like, this is all just a giant misunderstanding. Kotono believes her. She's galvanized. She's like, yay, no one else wants him. I'm going to get Oni-chan and I'm going to fuck Oni-chan and be with Oni-chan forever. And Oka leaves and she's kind of upset by the whole thing because she's really realizing like, damn, I think I might be falling for my brother too. And she becomes highly distracted thinking about Kotono and Arata, and she ends up failing her mock test. She gets a D in her mock test, which is unlike her because she's really smart and she puts a lot into studying, and the distractions of everything cause her to like just sink that test. And so the episode ends with her leaving the house. Arata sees her leaving the house and asks where is she going, and she mentions I think it's like Yamamata or Yamaguchi or Yama something, but it's a far away location for their place. And Arata's like, why the hell are you going there? But he doesn't make any real scene about it, and he thinks like, oh, like we have no family there, so that's weird. But maybe she just wants to get away. She needs to like reevaluate things. I know it's been a tough month for her with everything that's happened. Okay, and it's the start of a long weekend. She left on Saturday. They had that Monday off for a holiday, so she'll be back. And the episode ends with Arata saying in the voiceover, like, she didn't come back. Even on that Tuesday when we were supposed to go to school, she didn't come back. So effectively, she's missing. She's AFK as fuck. So obviously, next episode, they're going to try and find her. So a pretty solid episode there of Shiunji Family. And then last but not least that I'll talk about today that Chris is not watching is Sword of Demon Hunter. Sword of Demon Hunter was pretty good, I would say. Basically, we pick up where we left off in the last episode, where Jinta basically goes after the third reincarnation, and he struggles a bit before he pulls out all of his demon powers and basically what's the word I'm looking for? Not subdues the other dude, and basically asks her a bunch of questions. He asks him questions about like, who is he, what is he doing, things of that nature, and we find out basically that he is the third generation, and his powers are like Sukuma Gomi powers, which basically he's able to control like things in a positive way that have like soul. Like he puts soul, literal soul, into like objects, and that's how he's able to control them. And he explains that the original name, like the original guy who was of the name, he was, again, as we had seen in the previous episode, learned he was a swordsmith, and he was so good at his craft that his objects would literally become like, they would literally get souls. And so basically Jinta tries to like kind of like figure out why when what's her face let me find the damn thing again. Let me just use names, it's probably easier obviously to use names. Where the fuck is it? Here it is. What's her face? Not Ofu. Chitose? Is it Chitose? I think it's Chitose. When Chitose, oh, it's Natsu. No, it's definitely Natsu. When Natsu puts the little pin in, is it Natsu? God, I don't even fucking know anymore. Anyway, when the girl puts the fucking the pin in her hair, basically, why is she taking on that Onichan character? Because again, we're all suspecting the Onichan character is like when her and his younger sister Suzune, when they were good, but basically says like, you just have to return them to the original like owner, the original pair. And so he returns back to Homegirl and realizes like the hairpin that's in her hair that's causing her to have this like personality disorder, it was missing its younger sibling. And he pulls out the fucking comb pick for men, right? You can itch your head or whatever, and puts it in her head and gives it to her. And basically it creates like a unified combined moment between them. And a cuckoo bird basically a spiritual cuckoo bird comes out and cuckoos and flies away. And basically, she mentions some sort of like saying that's associated with the cuckoo bird, and it involves like the unification of brother and sister, like together as family, together not separated, so forth and so on. And they're able to live peacefully. And then eventually, Homegirl passes out, and basically that's kind of where the episode kind of ends. And then we get an after credit, which is really nice. The after credit for this week, we see the show fast forward to 2009. Keep in mind they were in like 1839, and they fast forward like fucking 100 no 80 70 70 no 70, yeah, 70 years. They fast forward no, not even 170 years. What am I saying? They fast forward 170 years to 2009. We see Jinta is now enrolled in high school. After all this time, Jinta is like 200, 300 years old, and he's now enrolled in high school. But he returns to a location, and he asks the main shrine, the shrine maiden. She's, the shrine maiden. We see her talking to her mother, and she's like, "Why do I have to be a shrine maiden?" And they're like, "Oh, it's just a promise that the girls of this, like, that are born in the shrine have to do." So Jinta comes over and asks, "What's the name of this shrine?" And they're like, "It's the Jinta shrine, the Jinta shrine." And he's like, "The Jinta shrine." And he's like, "Yeah, but you're the shrine maiden." He's like, "No, we're the Itsukuhime." And if you remember in episode 1, when you watch it, Chris, the main like deity is called Itsukuhime. And so basically, after all this time, I'm spoiling this for you, so I'm sorry, but after all this time, he the what's it called? The town elder kept his word, made a shrine. It survived 300 years, almost 200 years, 200 plus years, survived 200 plus years, and the shrine is named after Jinta, who, as we see, is still alive and still pursuing the demons and such. And that was a really nice, wholesome moment. And then it fast forwards to them in school, and yeah, Jinta is now enrolled in high school. He's got his sword in like some sort of like cloth like type thing. Looks like some sort of band like object, as if he was in band. And yeah, now by episode 10, we fast forward now into like regular times. He's in the year 2009 instead of in like the 1800s, like feudal Japan. So that was pretty solid. Pretty fucking solid from there. And that's it. You'll notice, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, one thing before I transition over to Chris. Chris isn't going to talk about Windbreaker, and he's not going to talk about Witch Watch yet, because over the course of this past week, since the last time you saw me, I put in the time and the effort, which is why we didn't do the podcast yesterday, and we fast forwarded it today so I could put that time and effort. I am fully caught up, 100% caught up on both Windbreaker season 1 and 2 and Witch Watch as of this week. So, woo! And boy, they're both really fucking good. I will say that before we'll talk about them later. Anyway, Chris, show's yours, floor is yours. What do you got to talk about this week?
Okay, I'm going to talk about. You're not watching 2B Hero X, right?
No.
Okay, I got that one. I got fucking. I'm gonna talk about solos first because I got 2 good ones that I'm gonna fucking bring out. That I actually have been somewhat keeping up with. The first one is a classic, and by classic I mean one that should have been finished a season or 2 ago. I'm talking about Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World season 2. It's finally back, guys. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
I'm not gonna talk more about that because like it's fucking in the middle of the season. It just catching back up, or it's just what am I fucking saying? It's a mess at the moment. I can't really talk much about it because of it's in the middle. They brought it back in the middle of the season, so it's like it's behind and
so they brought it up as episode 1 again of season 2.
No, they're up to like episode 8 now, but like if I bring up stuff now, it's not gonna make any fucking sense because I gotta go back all the way to talk about season 1 because no one watched that, and then I gotta talk about what came out in season 2. But hey, it's fucking back, and I'm super excited. The other show that I actually will be able to talk about is Yaiba Samurai Legend. What basic premise of the series is this small ass kid who is training in the jungle by his father to be a master kendo, pissed off this high schooler for no fucking reason. The high schooler crashed out, uh, went into the secret hidden basement of his dojo, found a demon sword, pulled it, and got possessed by a demon just to get back at this one kid who's like 5, 8, around there. Um, Now the kid has to go on an adventure to find another demon sword, not get possessed, so he can beat the shit out of the high schooler. Uh, what's going on now is he went into the past due to magic demon bullshit to the land of uh, the Warring States era, um, where he meets a young Musashi Miyamoto and Kojiro Sasaki, and he gets involved in their duel. Uh, and that's all fun and games. So that's basically what's going on with that.
Mm.
Um, Next is going to be to be a hero X. Uh, After last week's amazing cliffhanger, which fucking hell, we're getting a new character to focus on. This entire episode was done in 2D. Cat, uh, cat over there. Um, and it focuses on Lucky Cyan, who has been mentioned briefly, and as like a kid. Apparently, when she was a kid, she survived a plane crash that killed her entire family. Uh, there's like hints that it was an undercover job by the Association because no heroes were able to like stop it, and it's the first plane crash in who knows how long. Um, and she gets taken in this by this orphanage, who proceed to use her as like uh a selling point because everything she comes in contact with, good things happen to them. Um, and she feels trapped because she can't do anything like a normal kid would. She has to be the perfect little uh church girl. Um, uh, Shortly after she gets taken in, another boy gets taken in who has the opposite effect. He's constantly admitting bad luck, and he's called the Calamity. And he promises her that he'll he'll help her escape her cursed life of good fortune. And by the end of the episode, after she sings like a hymn to the congregation, um, she rips off her like mask, her hood, and cloak, and starts to sing a like idols pop song with the boy playing guitar while she's skating around, and this causes everyone at the church to be pissed, and they try to escape, only to be stopped by the head of the orphanage. And that's all that happened in that episode. Uh, what did I think of what else I'm watching. Oh, that you're not watching besides Aharen.
Well, I have the list that what he's watching: Lazarus, Gundam,
Oh
Hero
yeah.
X.
Okay, Lazarus and Gundam. I'll start with Gundam. Gundam. We get another flashback episode. This one focusing more so on or it's two parts. The first part of the flashback is focuses on Commander Gurren and Lady Cassilia. Yeah, Cassilia. Going after a uh or not Cassilia, Commander Char, uh, going after a enemy unit in his new souped up red Gundam. Uh, take it down with ease. Everyone's like worried about, oh man, uh, there's some weird particles going on in the air, and for some fucking reason, Char just disappears out of nowhere as he's like hearing some strange people talking to him. Um, it's then brought back to the present where Kyan is who is taken in by the Xenos, um, Xeon army, uh, that she's going to be used to test the this new Gundam that they're making. I think it was like the Gundam Fred, something like that.
Mm.
And the problem with that is that everyone who's tried to pilot that, there's been 5 people, or there's 5 candidates who tried to pilot it beforehand. 3 of them died. She is now the new one to try and pilot it. Uh, it turns out that one of the other people testing it is a spy who is meant to kill anyone who tried to take control, pilot this Gundam. Um, when the big like meeting show off between the dude who we've known all this along and the new guy who we just met, because he's the traitor. Um, Kyan uses her powers to control the Gundam to blast this to melt this dude with a laser and kill him. Uh, and I and Mashu is currently in prison in uh yeah, she's currently in prison under the assumption that she's the terrorist who's trying to who was controlling the G class. And I think that's all that happened in that. Um now for now for Lazarus. This episode we're going into Chris's backstory. Uh Long story short, she was a Russian spy. Now she's not. She got out of that life after she almost died um, at some uh, airport disaster 3 years prior to the story, um, and wanted to get away from that. She meets an and her handler who gets revealed to be her girlfriend, uh, or was her girlfriend, um, and she captures her, uh, brings her to an oil rig in the Baltics, uh, to interrogate her and kill her because she's a traitor. Um, the team finds out about this. They also find out that the commander of Lazarus used to work with Skinner, but she has no idea where he is, just like everyone else. She was originally taken in to she was originally taken into Lazarus because of her connection with Skinner, uh, and uh, they get nowhere with that line of questioning. Um, they then go head to the Baltics to try and figure out, or to try and rescue Chris because, according to the commander, she requested that if she was gone more than 72 hours, to like kill her
Mm.
because uh, she's a spy and they're just going to torture the information out of her. What else? Uh, Axel breaks in to the oil rig, rescues Chris. As they're leaving with the place being up in flames, uh, the Chris's girlfriend handler person says reconciles with Chris, but gets shot by one of the soldiers and dies. Uh, and that's pretty much all that happens. They're no closer to finding Skinner, and time's running out.
How much time is left now?
I think like 2 weeks.
It's still at 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks last week.
Uh, 12 days maybe. I wasn't paying attention when they said the how much time was left.
Nah, okay.
It was hilarious though, because like uh when the handler who was the one leading the operation was talking to her subordinates, she would just call them Comrade A, Comrade G, go do this. It was like, oh, you're not gonna give these guys names? That's really funny.
Alphabet works. The
Yeah,
alphabet works.
but they could have been given names since they're not just like soldiers, they're people.
Yeah, that's fair.
Uh,
And the last one is Hero X, I believe.
I talked about Hero X already.
You did already. Okay, you're good. Okay. And then you no Aharon, no Anne Shirley, no Evil Galactic Empire, and we're good. Unless you want to talk about Makaina's son and beginning after the end, if you're still watching those.
I'm not watching those. I dropped. Yeah, I dropped them both around episode 4.
All right, cool. All right, well, that was shorter than we thought. All good in the
Yep.
hood. All right, let's start off. What do we want to start off with? What do we want? Do we want to start off with Pervert Anime? No, I want to start off with Summer Pockets because I hate it. I'm starting to really not like Summer Pockets. Go ahead and Mew your way out of fucking this one this week, Chris.
All
With
right.
Summer Pockets.
Okay, so this week we're starting off with a continuation of last week with the German Japanese girl. I forgot her name. And she wants to.
What's her face? Give me a second. Summer Pockets. Survey says her name is Sumugi.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Personally, I like Shizuku better because she's just all about those tits.
Mm-hmm. Boobies. Opie.
Yeah, but they walk around. They're what they basically do is that Sumugi wants to make a veranda out of Pringles cans.
That's interesting.
I don't get why, but like, all right. So they go get help from everyone else. This leads to a funny moment where Hyri's like confused because it turns out Shizuku's like this distinguished senior and class president of the school or of the president of the student council, and she literally says like, I'm just a walking pair of tits, and Hyri's like, wait, no one, she just said she's a walking pair of tits. How is
She
nobody
wouldn't
like
say that. She
yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah. He gets gaslit. It's so fucking hilarious. But they all help out try to find go around finding Pringles cans for her to make her veranda. And things are a little weird because after after Hyri confessed to Sumugi last episode,
Which is weird. That pissed me off. I'm like, he just had a nice moment with Homegirl where he did the confession, and that was really nice with Kushina. That was a really nice moment. And then literally, it's like, are we in a simulation? Did they just rewind the fucking simulation? And
it's a visual novel. It's a visual novel. It's a visual novel. So yes,
he's got to go through all the scenarios with all the girls.
Yes. Last episode they showed him going to the island for the first time. They just skipped meeting everyone again because we don't need to see that twice.
So, oh my god, this is trash. You've read the visual novel or have you read?
I didn't read the visual novel.
I'm almost like, because this is made by the same people as Clan Ad. People know how much I love Clan Ad, and it's like, bro, I'm ready to fucking drop it.
But where was I? Yeah, because Sumugi is like trying to like pretend that the confession didn't happen because she doesn't know how to take it, which she later reveals that like to him. Shizuku tells Hyri to get her a gift because they're not going to be able to hang out anymore after this, but it'll be a good thing to help her remember him by. And then later, she confesses to him, saying that like I didn't know that how I felt, but when you said you were going to spend the rest of your summer with me, that touched me, and like I confession to you too. And then later, Hyri's late at night. Hyri probably after fucking Sumugi. Hyri's helping Aunt clean
Finally,
up.
he's doing something with the shed. Took him 8 episodes, but he's finally helping with the shed.
Yeah, helps, and then he finds a picture of Sumugi in like traditional Japanese clothing, and
she pulls a Kowloon and disappears.
She's a ghost. She's also a ghost. So
they're all ghosts. Clearly, they're all. It's like I told Matt this. I don't know if you saw it last week, but I told Matt I was like, Summer Pockets just feels like fucking Hyri is just guiding lost souls to the afterlife. That's what it's about.
Oh, I told Matt when I saw this episode that he's just the ghost fucker.
He's a ghost fucker. He's not fucking anybody.
He totally fucked the first girl. He totally fucked
In his
Ibuki.
dreams, but he's not fucking her.
You don't know that. It's probably off screen.
Oh God. He's the ghost fucker. What the fuck?
And it ends with Samugi just disappearing from her lighthouse. That's where that episode ends.
I'm really so close to dropping this. I know this is, I guess if it's a 24 episode anime, I guess I could like starve off, but I'm already hit the 8 episode rule. It's a third of the way on the 24 episode anime. Really, really, really close to dropping it.
Oh, you're welcome, Matt. 33 minutes ago.
Yeah.
42 minutes ago.
Yeah, there's a new thing where we could see like if we were popular, which we're not really popular clearly, but if we were popular, we'd be able to see comments on the side, which is really cool.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, wait, what the fuck is that? Oh, thank you, Chris. Okay.
Yeah, it's a beta thing on StreamYard, which is pretty cool. I just turned it on. I was like, okay, and I realized you can change the font, and I was like, why do we keep the same corny ass font? Let's put something different. But I didn't. Everything else kind of like blurred or didn't look right. So I was like, oh, we'll settle for the kind of children's script here, which isn't so terrible. So something different. Okay, cool. And that's that. I'm gonna sleep on dropping this. Genuinely, I'm gonna
You
sleep
could
on
just like wait till what's it fucking called? It's done and binge it at the end.
if it's even worthwhile.
I mean, you're gonna hear me or Matt talking about it.
Yeah, it's just this is such a chore. Pockets is such a chore for me to watch.
That is how I felt about ZatsuTabi.
Pockets, Slime, the next one that we're going to talk about, which is My Hero Vigilantes. Like these all seem like fucking chores to me at this stage, honestly, dude.
I prefer Vigilantes to base My Hero. It's like such a relief that we actually have character development in a My Hero. It's why I also like To Be Hero X, because like we get character development. I mean, the characters, like the main focus of the characters change all the time, but like
this week was it was so corny with this new like fucking Captain America fucker. Captain
yeah, because it's basically to say, oh hey, there's other heroes outside of Japan. Here's a character who's going to be a part of like showing you a new aspect of the Hero Society. Like I guess we'll talk about that next.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get into. Yeah.
New episode focuses on an American hero, Captain Celebrity. His power is flight, it seems like, and he also gets a strength boost.
And he's a hoe.
Yes, he is. Gigolo. He gets in. The reason why he's in Japan is because he got into a bunch of legal issues with his wife and other women because he's a massive flirt, trying to sleep with anyone like within a 5-mile radius. And Koichi helps him on the occasion. He runs into him when they're trying to help people. And Captain Celebrity at the moment is using Koichi to like make himself look good.
And keep scribbling his fucking signature over his All Might fucking hoodie. Exclusive.
I'd be so pissed. I'd be so pissed if like.
Oh, bro, I would have been too. This guy's such a douchebag. He's just fucked up my valuable hoodie. But yeah. Yeah, so I mean, from there, as Chris said, he uses him to basically look good. And he's not a really good hero, clearly. Like he's got a great fucking quirk, but he's like, oh, I only care about women. I love making myself look good in front of the press, in front of the women.
That is actually not his fault because that is how that hero society works. Or most do. Because of the ranking system, they have to make themselves look good. They have to like take every opportunity.
Yeah, but literally, they're like, "Oh, it's a bank rob." Like later in the episode, he ends up with fucking Brainiac girl.
Oh, you're talking about
with Polygraph. Yeah, Polygraph girl, and she's like, "Oh, there's a bank robbery." He's like, that's not my problem." And then when he goes over to freaking to what's it called? To Koichi's like, oh, we gotta save this boy. Oh, I'm more concerned about the woman. He makes Koichi carry a fucking sumo wrestler. He carries a sumo and he picks the light girl up and he's like, oh, she's so sweet. And Koichi's struggling to carry this fucking dumb sumo wrestler that always says, thank you so much, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much, I'm so sorry in Japanese. Thank you kindly in Japanese. And it's like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? It's ridiculous. But basically, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, Polygraph Girl ends up basically putting the fucking old switcheroo on his ass during a date that they're on, and basically contacted his wife, told his wife, like, yeah, he's being a flirt, and then was like, oh, what was that? If he doesn't change his ways in Japan, then you know that he's a whore and you're gonna sue him even more. And he ends up like fucking going straight, and he ends up doing like this public re-image thing in Japan. He's got all these men around him chanting, and he's got this wry, like fucking weird smile, like, I can't believe I'm doing this shit. I just want to be a fucking slut. And that's basically it when it's all said and done. But the after credit, I thought was really interesting. After credit was kind of funny actually, but it was also corny. Basically, in the after credit, for the most part, we learn Koichi gets a phone call from his dad, and it starts off like really kind of grim, like, oh, like his mom was in the hospital. No, your mom is already on her way. She's in Tokyo. She's coming to visit you. And so he starts cleaning the house, and Pop Step is like, it's just your mom, dude. Like, she's like, oh, well, I told my mom I'm living a good life. I'm really, I'm fulfilled. I'm doing well in school. And I've got a really, really insanely amazing girlfriend. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, ah. So she dips out. She's like, fuck this shit. So she leaps. As she leaps, his mom busts through the door and was like, Koichi, I'm here. Show me your house. And just fucking militant, like, mother. Koichi's like, yes, ma'am. Like, all militant, like, dweeby fucking guy. And she's like, oh, you're living a good life, just like you said. Thanks, mom. Where's your girlfriend? End episode.
Koichi explains that his mom is super strict, and if anything is out of line or he's lying about anything, she'll drag his ass home to the country. So that's why he's worried.
The worst. The fucking worst. Oh, Koichi. Like I said, this was corny. This week's episode to me was like, oh, it's not going it's not going any higher than where I have it in my 13, and it's only in my 13 because I have to have it in my 13. Literally, my 11, my honorable mentions have to be in my 13 because of that. Honest to God, I would have put fucking Witch Watch if I could. I put Sword of the Demon Hunter in here if I could, and then I don't even know if I would put Pockets in here at this stage. Maybe because it gave us a couple nice moments. I might put Pockets in here. That's it.
Well, if it's 24 episodes, you can't put it in.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If I could put it in, I might.
Oh, okay.
I know for sure I would have put Witch Watch, and I would have put what's it called? Sword of Demon Hunter in there. If I could have. In any case, all right, moving on. We'll move on. Let's go with another show that really annoyed me this week and continues to kind of annoy me. And to me, that is boy-girl friendship. Boy-girl friendship is a perpetual fucking annoyance in my life. But basically, for what it's worth, they're basically all doing damage control at this stage with everything that happened with the whole fucking like controversy around it, the custom jury that's done. Boy girl friendship. I'm trying to find the recap. Friend.
After he's basically forced to take all the accessories he made for the girls at school. Yu is feeling very depressed about his future as an accessory maker. And wants to take a break and quit until he's finished high school. Which Himari gets really pissed about because, like, hey, no, this is the thing that connected us from the beginning. If you're gonna stop this, like, what's the point of us being friends? And she gets,
I don't know, the way that I make you feel and the way that we have fun together. It's not just about the business, you stupid woman.
Yeah, but that's like basically what's connecting them. Like if like they lose, if she loses what's connecting them, then what's the difference between her and Enomoto?
Because she's shallow. That's why. Because she's shallow. I love you when you're working. Is basically what she said the entire season. You look best when you work. You shine best when you work. You look so sexy when you work. Not everything else. Not all the reasons why you fell in love with him.
But because that's his whole character, though. He's focused on his work. He has
Enomoto likes him because of their nice moment that they had when they were kids.
Enomoto didn't know him when they were kids.
Enomoto's better girl than Yui.
Wait, hold on. Enomoto didn't know him when they were kids, did they? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because she only knew about him because of the thing he made.
No, she met him in the what's it called? The flowers thing. They were together and they were in the botanical garden, the nursery, and they started talking about flowers and she really liked the flowers, and then they never met again until they met in school, and then she found out like, oh, you're the flower guy? Oh my god, I love the flower accessories. It makes total sense. I've liked you since da 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 when you really made me feel good because you talked about flowers and I could tell how nice you were, that type of things. Enomoto's a way better girl.
I don't remember that.
That was in like episode like 2 or 3.
That's probably why I don't remember it.
It was like episode 2 or 3, dude. So it's like, yeah, bro. But basically, to what Chris said, Yui threatens to break up their friendship, and they're like, all right, fuck it, whatever. And then basically, per usual, Yui's brother saves the day, makes her realize some things. And honestly, which is very surprising, Enomoto is the one that ends up helping you realize that when it was all said and done, his motivation is partially because of his creative, like using this as a creative outlet, but his motivation has always been Yui, has always been trying to like get her to like really, shine, and he loves making her things, loves making her feel good, loves making her like, making her happy with the accessories, which is not obviously the best thing, but high school typical, it makes sense. And so when it's all said and done, basically they kind of have like a come to Jesus between them, and like after when they were playing video games, and she ends up ends up going over to Himari. I don't know why I said Yui. I meant to say Himari. Himari ends up going to Himari, and they both apologize to each other for some of the shit that they did, and they end up back together. And you see her continue to be fucking. She's not tsundere. What is that? What is Himari? What dere is she?
No, she's definitely tsundere.
Is she tsundere?
She shows her dere side more than her soon side, but she's still tsundere.
She's dere as fuck. So she continues to be dere as fuck. Yu continues to be feckless and doesn't say anything either. And we're back to the same old bullshit. And then at the end of the episode, we see Enomoto's sister. You don't know it's Enomoto's sister, but you can kind of put 2 and 2 together, and you end up seeing it. Like I think it's in the preview for next week. It's Enomoto's sister.
Yeah, I can't wait. They're gonna fuck shit up. She shows up as she's talking to whatever the dude's name,
Matsu, some shit.
Yeah. And they're gonna go after the chicks who like spread the rumors and ruined everyone's day.
Oh, they're going to. Oh, you read this. You already know.
No, I didn't read this, or I read like the first chapter. That's why I know of it. But like that's what they were saying. We're gonna go after the people who caused the problem, right? And he is like, I want in on this too. Let me join you.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, because he feels responsible because he's the reason why everything went to shit.
Because he's quite a shit.
Who you was.
He will not win Best Supporting Boy. That's for sure. That is for sure. Okay, cool. Moving on. Let's go with Rock as a Lady's Modesty this week.
This was a good episode.
I'm trying to remember. Other than the only thing I remember is basically
Lily is getting or is learning to help the prince chick learn how to be herself, because
Tina.
She's like, I want to be what you guys are. And Lily's like, no, don't be who we are. Be yourself. Let Rock be. The reason why I love Rock is because it lets me be who I am. You need to let Rock be help. You need to let Rock help you be who you are, not who everyone expects you to be. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, man, this chick sucks. Get her out of here.
But they don't. They always forget the struggle, which is what they went through last week when you saw Lily remember what she struggled with early on with her dad. So, and that's why she feels that compassion on top of that. So, Is that it? I don't remember
Uh,
the rest of the episode. Okay, frankly.
I somewhat don't. I don't remember. Oh. Nope. Nope. I can't remember anything else. I think that was all.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, I do remember something. They cut down the notes. The helper, rather than have her play the entire song, they had her cut down some of the notes and just play some of the simpler notes. And basically, they're gonna overcompensate with everybody else. What's her face? The temporary chick, Tamaki. She still talks shit. And she's like, it's bad enough we have to overcompensate because of the fact that you're mid as fuck to Lily, and now we got to be even more mid because of that shit. And fucking that was funny. But basically, they're gonna have her just play the simple notes. They'll overcompensate with the drums and the guitars, and hopefully, no one will notice. Oh, I do remember it. So basically, it comes the day of the gig, and they go to the dressing room and they get ready, and then the other band comes in and they start talking shit to her, to all the girls, about who they are, what they look like, especially with the t-shirts and stuff. Like they don't look very, they look like fucking wannabe punk rockers and shit, not real rock stars. And then they're focused on Tina and Tina's tits because Tina has humongous knockers. And they're like, this is the only way people won't realize it's you is if you wear something like this and it shows your tits, accentuates your tits, because nobody knows you have big tits. And basically, they pissed them off, and then that kind of sets them up for the next episode, which will be tomorrow as we record, and it'll be the battle in the club. So I did remember that piece. Okay, moving on. Let's go with what do we want to go with? I'm not sure.
You want to go with Takamine because we got to talk about 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, that is true, ain't it?
Yep.
All right, let's go with pervy anime.
Last week's episode was introducing a new character.
Yes,
childhood friend of Shirota. Basically a tomboy who is a model and going to his cram school with him because he wants to study up and to be able to get into Takamine's college of choice, which is pretty impossible at his skill level.
Basically.
They go to a park, have fun. They get into water balloon fights. She licks his neck, almost flashes her tits.
We see the tits that are drawn subsequently afterwards in one of the fantasies.
Yep.
My hidden files is nothing but me taking pictures of the fucking nakedness in the show.
Shirota's like, oh man, it'd be pretty bad if Takamine showed up. It'd be really hard to explain what the fuck is going on. And just as she appears from behind him, asking, "What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you talking about me? Why are you letting this slut like lick all over you and get all over you and get herself wet?" And Ellie's like, "Oh no, everything's cool. We're just childhood friends. We used to play together."
Wait, and then she recognizes Takamine, and she's like, "Oh my god, I remember you." And then it puts more in context.
And and Takamine remembers her. It's like, "Oh man, you're the girl who was playing with Shirota when they were young, when you guys were younger with the
But
water."
Shirota doesn't remember fucking Takamine.
He's such a fucking dumbass.
He is a dumbass as fuck. He's dumbass as fuck. He's too chivalrous for his own good. The amount of times he's seen this woman's vagina and just been like, "No, I can't."
Yep.
Shaking.
Let's see. She gets like this part. Oh yeah. This episode also shows like the real Takamine. Like she gets super jealous of Ellie. Like trying, and like when Shirota brings out like a water balloon.
She thought it was a condom.
She thought it was a condom. It was like, no, you can't do this. You need to be like proper adults. You can't just like whip that out willy-nilly. You gotta be in love with someone in order to do that. And it shows that like despite being a huge masochist to Shirota, she's still pretty innocent in her like views of love and shit.
But then she gets happy at the end when because she didn't know that he was going to cram school, and she's like, "Why'd you sign up for cram school?" And I was like, "Oh, I really wanted to be together." And she got like all like, "Oh, fluttery," like because of the fact that like, "Oh, he's putting in an effort for me to do something for me, and it'll help him, but it's for me." Oh my god, I'm gonna study with you the entire summer. Let's go do our homework.
And Ellie explains, "Oh, you're actually in love with him. Don't worry. I've been in a all girls school for most of my life, so I don't know how to act with adolescent boys. So you have nothing to worry about with me. You can pursue him.
Yeah. Which leads us into the next episode where we find out she's in a relationship.
And she's not into guys.
She's got a girlfriend.
Yep.
So she's at least bisexual. At least. You hear that, Matt? We kept it proper. I didn't say that she was gay. I said that she was at least bisexual. It's funny because I got into
Takamine is her type.
And Takamine is her type. It's funny because I got into like a little like thing with my coworker because I always tell my coworker gay because she's like married to a girl, but she's like, oh no, I'm not gay. I just happen to be married to a woman, but I'm not gay. She's like, the right guy comes along, I'm getting it in, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. I get it. That works. So I got to keep that in context for Matt. Did that for you, buddy. But yeah, no. So we find out she's with this girl. I forget her name, but she's a waitress at like a family bar. And basically, they get out of school. This episode starts off. They get out of cram school. They're tired, and Takamine comes over to pick up Shirota, basically. And then Ellie is like, "Why don't we all hang out? Let's go to a family like restaurant so we can eat and hang out." So they get a plate of fries and they get like drinks or whatever, and they start talking. And again, we see Takamine more jealous. And basically, when it was all said and done, right? And she was basically the entire time they're in the restaurant, she's trying to turn Ellie off by calling fucking Shirota nothing but like a fucking closet pervert that loves like sexual shit, and she's gonna like devour you and rape you. And it was like, the fuck? And Shirota's like, dude, half that shit that you're saying is shit you want me to do, that you're making up, that you believe I'm gonna do. Like, it's not even
that you have done to me, like
that you've done to me. You've taken advantage of me. So that's hilarious. And then when it was all said and done, they're about to leave, and Ellie's like, "Hey, can I talk to you, Takamine?" And so they send Shirota off, and basically they have the conversation like, "You're in love with him," and Takamine is like, "No, you're just making up lies. You're just making up stuff. Like, dude, I know you like him. You don't have nothing to worry about. Shirota's just my homie. I'm in a whole relationship, even though you're my type, but I'm in a whole relationship." And out comes the girl, the waitress, and they leave holding hands. So she's clearly going out with the waitress. They're bumping roast beef sandwiches together, and they're eating roast beef every night. But we digress. In any case, basically that turns Takamine like in Ellie's favor. Like, okay, like I've misjudged her, and we see as she's walking home, Shirota's waiting for her. And they end up like getting into a balloon fight themselves, and she purposely gets wet so she could like flirt and tease with fucking.
She tries to recreate the event that Shirota had with Ellie.
Yeah.
Getting herself wet so Shirota could see her tits, even though he sees them almost every day. Has him lick her stomach because she licked him.
It was a bet. Whoever gets hit by 3 balloons first has to do something of the other person. So of course Shirota loses and was like, "All right, you have to lick the sweat off my body. You can pick my inner thighs, you can pick my armpits, you can pick my under boobs, or you can pick my stomach." And he's like, "All right, I'll go for the stomach because it's the least sexual of the 4." And so he goes for the stomach, and that was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
And she says the reason why she did it is to overwrite the memory that he had with Ellie the day prior.
In effect, yeah.
They just need to fuck.
They really need to. They really need to. Which is why I say about Shiunji Family, bro. Shiunji Family would be a fucking fantastic hentai. Because if you keep the love story, introduce the fucking, and it's a goated hentai. It's like that one hentai. What is it? I think you'll probably know because you're a degenerate like me.
What's the premise?
The boy has the three classmates, and he ends up like actually going out with all 3 of them. And it's because of the fact that his parents think he wasn't manly enough, so they send him to live on his own. He ends up like getting with the 3 girls, and they all fall in love with him. I forget the damn name of it.
Imazumi's house.
Yeah, Imaizumi. Yes, it is Imaizumi. And for those who haven't seen it, first off,
I haven't seen it. I only know it because I've heard of it. Oh, it's like the closest thing I could think of. Like, is that it? Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, I am talking about Imaizumi. Imaizumi is a great hentai for those who like to observe in those things. It is a fantastic hentai full of crazy sexual shit. But legitimately, the author, and I always praise Imaizumi because the author literally was like, all right, I've got the best of both worlds. Here's the sexual shit, so have at it if that's what you want to crank your hog to. But he actually has a safe for work version where it goes through the day-to-days. You don't see them having sex, or they reference it a little bit, but you don't see it. It goes into the relationship aspect, and it goes into why the three girls love him so much and are in this relationship with him. This throuple, I guess you could say throuple, maybe quadruple. I don't know. Anyway, why they're all in a relationship with him, and they have nice moments. They're really sweet, really caring. Like, it's not just the fucking. So it's like, all right, why can't they do that with Shiunji? Keep the fucking, have the fucking, but give me the relationship. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The word you're looking for was harem. Harem is the word you were looking for.
Well, I mean, I know they're in a harem. I was trying to think of like the technical like term that
is the technical.
Normies.
They're all dating him.
People that don't watch anime won't know what a fucking harem is.
That's not even from anime. That's fucking Islam, Hindu. One of those is yeah. That's original. That's a real thing before anime.
I just always reference it as fucking anime. But I digress. Anyway, to Chris's point, long story short, they should fuck already because they're. I mean, bro, you're touching it every day. You're seeing it every day. You might as well. You're like, oh, this has a stain. You should look. It's got a stain. I wonder what this stain is for. For you dumbass. Anyway, back to the episode.
Well, that was the end. That was the end of the episode, right?
No, it wasn't the end of the episode. Basically, the episode it continues on after that, and basically it's the last day of summer, and Shiroto wants to take
yeah, that's right. He wants to take her out.
Yeah, take her out. And every time he tries to do something, she what's it called? Takamine Tsundere-ness comes out. She rewrites the day like 4 different fucking times from shit. And just to kind of like bother him, but at the same time she gets flustered as well. So her tsundere comes out. But when it's all said and done, they have a nice time together and they go on the rest of the date together at it's like a water park type thing. And
he basically the reason she does it is because she wants to be the one to take care, like do all the things. Like she wants to pay for the drinks. She wants to like make sure he doesn't overexert himself. She wants to buy him a gift without him buying her one.
Yeah, literally, he bought her coffee. Rewind. He bought her a gift. Rewind. He took something in the boat. Rewind. She falls over. Yeah. Rewind.
No, she didn't fall over. She jumped out, did a fucking backflip into the water.
Yeah, she dove over. Rewind. She was so flustered by that moment, she put her own panties on. Ooh, she put her own panties on. But that's a thing in this anime. So, in any case, and that's where the episode ends. So, I just wish they didn't have that debacle early on in the season where they were like trying to like hide stuff and you had to go on to the pirate sites to try and see the full nudity. Womp womp womp. All right, anyway. All right, moving on. We got how many?
Let's get to actual fucking Kowloon.
Oh, you want to go to Kowloon? Okay, yeah. We can go to Kowloon. Yes, well, that's at the very, very end. But in any case, this week's Kowloon, which I just saw today, from Saturday, was really good actually. So basically, we're off the heels of what Gwen had told what's her face?
Reiko and
Reiko.
Yame.
Yeah, Reiko and Yame about the fact that they don't exist. And Yame still doesn't believe her. Doesn't believe him. She's gonna go to Tokyo herself. So she goes to Tokyo. Hong Kong. Sorry, Hong Kong. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. So she goes to Hong Kong. She's like, I just refilled my money when she can't get onto the train. And she calls Gwen, and Gwen's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, like, since you're working in Kowloon, like, Kowloon money doesn't exist because Kowloon doesn't fucking exist. So she's like, here, borrow some money, and gives her like an exorbitant amount of money. And she's like, I can really use this. And she's like, I got paid well in my last job, aka fucking Miyuki. So that was fun.
I wonder if she's gonna get her money back when she goes back to Kowloon, or is it just fucking gone forever?
No, we gotta think it's back. I think she's just gonna have a fuck ton of money in general.
Yeah.
Because of the money that she got from Gwen. But in any case, so she starts asking around. No one knows anything about Kowloon or doesn't want to talk about Kowloon until she meets an old man. The old man who disappeared from Kowloon. Who
The
they brought up.
original Dr. Wong.
Is that the original Dr. Wong?
Yes, because the one who disappeared was the fake.
I know he was a doctor. I thought he was just the old man.
Yeah, he was a doctor.
Then who? I know Dr. Wong was the guy that where what's his face, the really creepy like looking fucker. He went into his files. That's Dr. Wong, is it not?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just the old man. Let me see, Kowloon generic romance. It's just he's just the old the G-chan. No, they don't even have him as a character here on Analyst. Maybe if I go to my anime list, but in any case, she meets the original old man. They have a conversation. Basically, it was like, "Oh, you believe in the rumors?" Like, yeah, and they start talking, and they're like, "Oh, it's a Habima like cover up, which is why they destroyed the original Kowloon." But that's just a rumor. No one knows anything. Which we find out like earlier on in the episode is really true because Miyuki's talking to that like white haired fucker. His name is Yulong, by the way. Yulong. He calls Yulong or Yulong calls him, and they like they talk about shit, and basically they admit like yeah, it was originally a cover up for some shit that happened, and we also find out the original reason why Reiko dies, the original Reiko, and it was a overdose from sleeping pills, but Miyuki's like that's a cover up.
Yeah. They're like, she would have needed to take like tens of thousands in order for her to OD from those pills.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, so we still don't officially know, but the official record is that she died of an overdose from pills. And so as we keep going, Yao Mei basically ends up when the doctor's like, oh, go, or the old man was like, go online if you want to really find out about it. She goes online, and everything for the most part has been deleted except for one chat. And she starts talking to this chatter on this forum about everything. Come to find out, the chatter is Yulong himself, and they have conversation about it. And basically, it opens up Yao Mei's eyes to several factors. One factor is that when she arrived, she moved to Kowloon 6 months previous, which was in March of that year. I think it was March of 94 or it was March of 97. So right now which is very interesting. If you notice that, I don't know if you noticed that, Chris. The show is based in 1997 because it's 3 years after Kowloon gets destroyed in 1994. But they have they have high powered internet. They've got iPhones, but it's based in 94. Okay, or 97, I should say. But in any case, that's just the lay of the land. And so it's like we moved 6 months prior. She moved 6 months prior to Kowloon in March, and she remembers basically what Gwen said. The only people that can see Kowloon are the former residents and the people who wish to see it. And Yao Mei remembers that she was trying to find lodging. It was close at night. What the fuck is that? Some kid outside crying. Interesting.
Or cat.
Or it might be the stray cat. Who knows? Interesting. Anyway, she was desperate for lodging. It was going late at night, and she was cold, and that's how she found Kowloon. And so that backs up the point of anyone who seeks Kowloon will find Kowloon. She also mentions that ever since she stepped into Kowloon, she's been wearing summer clothes the entire time. And if it's 6 months from March, then it would be September. It's no longer like hot summer. It should be starting to cool down. And it's very interesting that if it's 6 months, they're in September. When you look later on, which I don't know if anybody notices that, but if you look at Reiko's phone, it shows that it's July 1st. It's forever July 1st in Kowloon. Crazy. Which is interesting. But in any case, she puts two and two together. She's speaking to Yulong. They exchange contact information. And as she's leaving the internet cafe, she notices fucking Yulong, but doesn't know that that's who she's been speaking to this whole time. They were basically back to back in the same internet cafe talking, which was interesting. And so basically she calls Reiko, and Reiko agrees to meet her. Now we switch over to Reiko, who throughout the episode, basically, she ends up going back. She's pondering everything that Yao Mei and Gwen like told her and what she saw and stuff like that. And she ends up meeting, when she goes back into Kowloon, she meets Kudo. And Kudo's like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, I had plans with Yao Mei, but they fell through, so I'm just here. And Kudo's like, you want to go eat? And she's like, okay, sure. So they go eat. They have a good time. They end up walking like a isolated alley. And Kudo looks over at Reiko, and you can tell that she's bothered. And so he's like, what's going on? And Reiko kind of just word vomits everything that she's feeling. She's like, why did you tell me not to leave? What about you? Are you gonna leave? And then she like breaks down, and basically like Kudo comes and cuddles her, like holds her, and Reiko basically asks like, oh, like, don't ever leave me, please don't ever leave me. And Kudo's like, I won't, I promise, I promise I won't leave you. I'll always be by your side, we'll always be together. And when we fast forward to Yaume reaching out to Reiko, Reiko wakes up to the phone beeping, and she's butt ass naked. And she's next to Kudo, who's also butt ass naked. 1 + 1 with clothes on the floor equals they fucked. So they finally got it in. They finally did it. They did the deed. Reiko and Kudo had sex. And Kudo's like, what time is it? And she's like, it's 6 a.m. And she's like, where are you going? Like, he grabs her, like, where are you going? Like, don't leave. And she's like, I'm just going to meet up with Yaume before work. Okay, have fun with Yaume. And that's where the episode basically ends, with them embracing in bed again at 6 a.m, butt ass naked. Maybe they had sex again before she went. Who knows? So yes.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna do something fucking wild when Yalong gave Yaume that piece of candy. I thought that was gonna have like, oh man, here's just some here's just like some skin tissue of Reiko's dead body. Let's see if that like makes the Reiko disappear.
What the fuck? I did not think that at all.
I thought that was what he was gonna do it, because he was like trying to figure out how to like get in, and he was just how to help Miyuki. I thought, okay, let's see if this can help.
No, not at all. No.
I thought some fucked up shit was gonna happen.
Clearly, I see that, and it did not. Thank God it did not. Holy hell, Batman! What the fuck? Jesus, Louises. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go with we've only got a few more. Let's go with Witch Watch this week. Because Witch Watch first off, let me catch everybody up on Witch Watch, because I binged Witch Watch, like I said. This is probably, I'm not even kidding, probably going to be comedy of the season. Easily. This shit is so fucking funny. Nico is kawaii as fuck. I love the shit out of Moe. He is fucking awesome as far as I'm concerned. So I am loving Witch Watch. I am so glad I picked up Witch Watch. But yeah, this week's episode was pretty solid. Is this the episode where he makes Homegirl disappear, or was that the previous one? Homeboy disappear.
Previous.
That was the previous one. Okay, where he makes Homeboy disappear. Okay. So this week's episode, I'm trying to remember what the fuck happened. Damn it! I just saw this the other day. What was it?
Oh, it was the it focused on Kanchi. Him getting.
Oh yeah, Kanchan. Yeah, Kanchan. Yeah. So Kanchan, Kanchan, he is trying to make ends meet, right? Because he needs to pay for living expenses in this world, and he's trying to make ends meet. So he ends up auditioning to be like a side character for this like play, and he gets the part.
It's a hero show, basically.
Yeah.
It's basically like where you see Power Rangers fight evil villains on a stage. It's mostly for kids.
Yeah. His name is Ottoman. Get it? Ottoman. If you watch the show and the way we describe what happens in this, you'll get it completely. So anyway, the character's name is Ottoman, and he auditions to be one of the side fighters, and he gets that part. But then the director's like, "You're so good, like mobile. Hey, can we bother you to be the main character?" He's like, "The main character." He's like, yeah, the main character that we originally hired, he got injured and he can't like do anything. So would you be the main character? And he's like, all right, sure. Yeah, I'll be the main character. And so he does stuff with the main character. And then, between takes, he ends up speaking to the injured guy. And the guy basically says like, my family's really upset, especially my son, who was really looking forward to seeing me play Ottoman. But it is what it is, nothing to do. So hopefully you do well. And Khan, being the nice guy, was like, I've got an idea. And his idea is basically, let's completely switch roles. I'm going to be the evil villain. you're gonna be the original Auto Man, and I'm gonna basically like Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan bump for you. I'm going to bump for you. And so we see the original like guy. He ends up like lightly tapping the villain, and he goes flying. He flies backwards. He is overacting, overselling. The kids for this show are loving. They're all loving it. They're all loving it. And the director is pissed off. He is pissed off. Like, how could you do this? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? You guys are not getting paid. None of you guys, because you pulled this bullshit. So fuck you guys. You're not getting paid. But the hilarious part of the episode is while they were doing the auditions, when you see Kanchan going ballistic because the story is so fucking atrocious. Literally, Otto Man has a normal life other than being a crime fighter. Otto Man has a really shitty marriage. He has a dull, plain, boring marriage, right? So bland and generic. He's got a nice job, and we find out the villain is like one of his like kohais that's really hot. But in any case, he has a nice job. He faces the villain. He goes back home. He sees his wife has candles and flowers and has made dinner. And he's like, wow, honey, like, well, what's today? It's so special. And his wife is like, it's our anniversary today. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was our anniversary. And his name is Otto Man because as a punishment for missing his wife's anniversary, and whenever he gets punished by his wife, he literally is on all fours acting as a footrest. He is acting as an Ottoman, which was fucking hilarious. And he's got the fucking the submissive mask to boot. He's wearing the fucking submissive mask. He's in his underwear on all fours. It is hilarious. Truly fucking funny. But yeah, so that's the first half, and then the second half of it still features Kanchan, I think, right? Oh yeah, the new girl. We bring a new girl in.
No. It's still focusing on him because time for him to like, he's got to like put screws in like tiny ass bags, and he finds it so fucking dull, and he goes to Nico,
oh yeah.
Hey Nico, can you help me do my work faster? It's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. He sees everything going 10 times faster.
No.
Oh no.
No.
10 times faster, but everything seems like it's going 10 times slower.
So basically, Khan is stuck in a reverse reality where everybody around him sees him moving at 1 billion miles an hour, and he's moving at like 1/1,000,000th of a second. So basically, the spell is supposed to last 3 days, but time is so slow for Kanchan. He is in this like perpetual like simulation of slowness for 30 days. And he can't interact with nobody because nobody can understand him. No one can like see him or really do much. He's in and out, eating constantly. He eats every 30 minutes, but in that, it's like the equivalent of like 5 hours, basically. So he's eating 5 hours. He goes to sleep and he just looks like dead. He looks like he's like overdosed on something. He's so fucked up. And at the end of the last day, he practiced so hard. He's able to finally talk and walk normal. And he's like, I practiced really hard to talk to you guys like this. I'm talking so slow so you can understand me. And he's walking like so. And it's really like, oh, he finally adapted. And then the spell wears off. And he gets hit with time lag. So now he's back to normal. But he's still talking like this because this is how he trained his body to talk.
He's talking like Ted after he got his stuffing mixed up.
And that's where the episode ends. It is funny.
It's great.
It is fucking funny. Witch Watch is an absolute watch. It is an absolute watch. For those who aren't watching Witch Watch, watch it. You'll have the fucking time of your life watching it. All right. So since we're on Witch Watch, let's move on to Windbreaker, since that's the second one that I've watched. And this is another one. When I got off of the podcast last week with Matt, I believe I had seen the first 4 episodes of Witch Watch by then, because I watched it the day before. So on that Monday before, I watched 4 episodes of Windbreaker, and I loved it. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Over the next week, I proceeded to binge the other 8 episodes of season 1 and all up to 9 episodes now, I think it is, or 8 episodes of season 2. And it really is. It really does, to your point, to everything you guys have been saying. It really brings out every single point that was like that's missed in Tokyo Revengers. It's just that the stakes in Windbreaker aren't as important.
Yeah, they're just high schoolers.
They're just high schoolers fighting for the sake of like, freedom in essence. But it's nothing like nobody's literally dying, right? So that is what it is. But no, it's still fun as fuck. The fights are all badass as fuck too. They are
Choreography is so fucking good. I was saying that when I was watching the newest episodes.
It is. It is so fucking good. This is some of the best hand-to-hand combat fighting that I've probably seen in a long ass time in an anime. Easily. It is fucking great. But this week's episode is pretty solid. I know we didn't capture last week.
Wait, hold up. Before we go into the major points of the episode, can we get the elephant out of the room? Is anyone gonna like question why they're letting a fucking high school boy dance on a stripper pole in front of adult men and they're throwing singles at him?
So thank you, because I'm like, he's a stripper. And Matt and Sean are like, no, he's not a stripper. Like he's an adult and like he's an entertainer. Like he's on a stripper pole in like dolly fucking like things on his wrist. And he's pole dancing better than 90% of women. He's just buff. It's like, bro, it's like watching like a buff female bodybuilder strip. The only difference is he's not actually stripping. He's not taking off clothes. He's just pole dancing. But that's a stripper. That's a stripper.
Yeah.
And why? I mean, probably because he can kick all their asses if they say no.
They're both pretty like I want to see him fight. First of all, I want to see him fight.
I do want to see that too. I'm hoping we get that in the next episode, or at least the episode after that. In the next 2 episodes, we need to see her fight, him fight, they fight.
Him. He's just a crossdresser.
And he's just a him. I know. And we need to see him fight in the next 2 episodes. It's a must. Yeah. It's a must. But in any case, yes, we see, as we saw in the previous episode, Tsubaki. Tsubaki is a pole dancer in the red light district of this town, and they're all eating food. They're having a good time. Everything's like nice and dandy. And basically, the same ruffians that came over, an entire mob of them is now outside of the red light district, and they're just causing fucking mayhem. And so originally, the chairman of the group was like, "Hey, everybody, stay here. Protect what's her face, the singer, protect her, and everything will be all good." And then we see Sakura and I forget the other guy's name now. What's the huh? Suo, yes. Suo and what's his face? The other guy, Nirei. They stand up and they're like, "No, we're going with you." Like, well, it started with us. We punched those guys, so we got to be part of it. And so they go in and they beat the shit out of these guys some more. And it takes them a while, but they all kick their ass. Nirei even fucking does something useful again. Like, he's really solid. And then they're like, "Oh, we're clear." And then now a whole bunch of thugs come over. And they're like, "There's no end to them." And he's like, the head thug is like, "No, we're not associated with those guys." Like, basically, somebody wants that girl. They paid one guy. He got his ass kicked, right? And his group got his ass kicked. You just kicked these guys' ass. So every time you kick somebody's ass, the price for this girl by whoever wants her keeps going up. So we're mercenaries and we're just gonna, give you the option. Give us the girl. You guys can flee and everybody wins. We get what we want. You guys don't get embarrassed because we kicked your ass. And that's fine and dandy. And Sakura's like, "Nah, fuck that, son. Let's go." And then same thing with the chairman. The chairman's like, "Nah, fuck that, son. Let's go." And basically they end up fighting. And they basically were like, "Listen, we can lose. That's fine and dandy. We will fight to the last man. If we lose, so what? We lost the fight. We've got some amazing bodyguards that are protecting the girl. So even if you, as the leader of the thugs, if you're the only person that makes it, that's fine. We did our job because we got other people that are there. And they're going to kick your ass too. So let's fucking go, bro." And basically that's where the episode ends, where everybody's about to square up in this fucking humongous battle. So yeah, no, this is fucking solid.
It's so good.
Super fucking solid. I'm loving the absolute shit out of it. Okay, how many more do we have left? One, two. Let me see. We got Shoshimin. I think we got a Shoshimin and Fire Force, right? Let me see. We talked Witch Watch, Boy Girl, Takamine. We didn't do Apothecaries. Let's do Apothecaries next. Apothecaries, those three I talked about by myself. Windbreaker, Kowloon, Summer, Baka, Shoshimin. Okay, yeah, so we got 3 more. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Let's go with Apothecaries. Another interesting episode, I would say, this week.
And more so focuses on the village and
Yes.
their connection with the kingdom.
Yes, and so we see more like day-to-day stuff with Mei Mei and the other woman, Shay Mei. No, Shay Mei is the villain at the end.
Shenmei's the villain. It's Suiren.
Suiren, yes, Suiren. So Suiren and Mei Mei, they do like this festival thing. It's nice, it's cute, all that stuff. And they reinforce the fact that she's free, but she's not really. She's still a hostage. And she notices, Mao Mao notices, a shed in the back corner of the village. And basically, we have the boy there, right? The little brother of Mei Mei, and was like, "Hey, what's with that shed?" And homeboy is like, "Oh, that's the village elder's shed." And she's like, "Can I see what's in the shed?" And he's like, "Normally no, but fuck it, screw it. I'll take you through my secret spot that I use to get out of homework." And so they go through like the secret passageway to get out of like the palace that's being guarded by the guards, and they end up going to the shed. And basically, when they open the shed, she notices a couple things, right? Because she was looking at the grass, like where the rice field is.
You're skipping the festival. That happens at the end of.
What's important about the festival?
Basically how it connects the fact that the Fox Village, where they're at,
yes, that's right,
colorblind people who were related to the Mother Royal.
Yes. So this is the descendant village of the emperor.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And how they have this how they have this burning ritual, whatever, where they burn masks that some will have wishes on them, in order to.
That's not really important. It's a nice thing to watch. Important to the story.
Yeah. But going back to your part, which is the second half.
Yeah, the second half. No, but Chris brought up a good point. Thank you for that, Chris, about the colorblind. Mao Mao's putting 2 and 2 together that this is the home ancestral village of the emperor, right? And they mentioned in particular that this colorblindness came because of the fact in that first part that Chris had mentioned. They mentioned that the story behind the Fox Village, and basically the Fox Village was a normal Chinese village, and then Westerners came in, and when the Westerners started intermingling with the Chinese folks, the traits of the Westerners that proved that they were colorblind, and so anybody that is colorblind in essence in the village came from descendants of Westerners. So you can deduce that the emperor, who was colorblind, and those folks are all descendants of Westerners that intermingled with the pure-blooded Chinese. And so there's that part. And now when we fast forward back to the shed, they go into the shed because Mao Mao notices like, oh, this like because of the shade, it doesn't get enough like proper sunlight. And because of the shed like lights being on at night, it gets an unnatural amount of unnatural light. And that causes the crops to not grow properly, and deduces that similar to when they made the flowers bloom out of season for the festival in season 1, which was nice. But they go into the shed, and they just looking around, and there's a cover there's a cover near there, and there's some blueprints that are hung on the wall. And when they reveal the cover, they notice Feifas, and Mao Mao puts 2 and 2 together and says, oh, this is where they made the Feifas. This village is connected to the Feifas. This village is where they're trying to kill Jinshi and do something with the emperor. And all of a sudden the shed gets some visitors, and one of the visitors is a woman. The woman cuts the fucking blinds basically where Mao Mao and the boy are hiding, and we see an attendant. We see the main villain, the Chinese villain. Her name is Xin Mei, and another woman comes behind her. And who's that woman?
It's one of the twins.
It is
I
one of
forgot.
the twins. It is one of the
Her
twins.
name's Alia, I think.
Yeah, so it's one of the Western twins that came to the village to try and seduce the emperor originally to as part of that like special envoy like ceremony festival thing that happened. I believe that happened at the beginning of the season, did it not? I think that was a beginning. That wasn't last season. That was the beginning of this season.
That was
In
the beginning of this season.
Yeah, it was back in winter. So yeah, so clearly they're trying to kill the emperor. Mao Mao does discover the truth. Lord knows what's going to happen to Mao Mao and the little boy now. So that was hella solid from that perspective. This is so good. I don't know how people can talk shit about Apothecary Diaries. It's so fucking good. All right. Co-main event. Co-main event of the evening is going to be Shoshamine. And boy, have the stakes ramped up in Shoshamine, haven't they?
Oh man. Well, not really this episode, but like because this episode's just a flashback.
Well,
Or no, mostly a flashback. Mostly a flashback.
Mostly a flashback,
like,
but
it's been like sometime after the arson's case. Osanai and Kobato are back together.
It's in the winter, I think, because the arson case happened during the spring, did it not?
Yes, it's they're in December. It's during finals.
Yeah, so it's during the winter. The episode starts off with Kobato in the hospital in like severe like agony, and he's being like attended to in like emergency care. And we find out Kobato got hit by a car. Kobato pushes Osanai down a hill to save her, and her beloved Takoyaki got fucked up, but she's alive. And Kobato got smashed by a car, and it was a hit and run. The car fucking sped off after the fact, and Kobato's in and out of consciousness. Kobato wakes up out of consciousness after he starts thinking like, "You deserve this. This is everything you deserve. You'll never get away with this." So clearly, something in his brain triggered like a memory, and he wakes up. They're investigating to see who the writer was. Kobato ends up later on in the episode, wakes up to a note from Osanai, like, "I'm going to show no mercy to the driver." So that'll be fucking great.
She's so fucking crazy. I can't wait
for
to find
so
back.
She's positively sinister at this stage. But no, the main story for this is, as Chris said, it's a major flashback for the majority of the episode. What's his face?
It shows the incident as to why Kobato wants to be normal.
Yeah. So
which is similar to what he's going through right now.
Yeah, it's the exact same scenario. So Kengo visits him, and they go over everything that happened, and they start talking. They ask about Osanai's son, and then he's like, I really wish I could like apologize to this one kid, and whose name I'm forgetting.
Hiraka.
Hiraka, yes. He's like, I wish I could apologize to Hiraka, and he's like, Hiraka, and
that dude killed himself.
Kobato's like, do you know him? And he's like, I don't know him, but I know of him through passing. They're like, oh, where is he? What's he doing? He's like, well, he's probably dead. He tried to commit suicide, supposedly. And they're like, no fucking way. And he's like, can you find out? And he's like, I'd love to, but I've got entrance exams, and that's more important. So, sorry to tell you. And Kobato was like, all right, fuck it. It is what it is. But then Kobato starts thinking about the past. And we come to find out with the flashback story that Hiraka was basically in the same scenario. He got hit by a car, and this was in the third year of middle school, so right before they entered high school. And Kobato is very creepy the way that he overextends himself to try and solve the mystery. He is very
I can understand why he wants to like pull himself back from doing this kind of thing.
He is gung-ho. He is overzealous as hell. He is so like him and his creepy smile that was highlighted by his ex-girlfriend, his ex-whore girlfriend, was full effect, and basically takes it upon himself to try and solve the mystery. And we basically come to find out, that there are pieces of the mystery that are not clear. There was one witness who was a second year, and he was kind of withholding information, but they're just trying to get more information on the car, what it looked like, trying to do speed, like all this stuff. And he's like, his mind is going. And one piece of information he finds out from the student is that Hiraka was with a girl, and he did the same thing, pushed the girl down. And when the student went over to rush, he was trying to call the cops, call an ambulance. Hiraka did all that on his own already, and he was looking for the girl, and the girl basically disappeared over like a levee or something because they were near like a river, and it happened to be kind of probably near a similar location where he got run over. No, not similar. Never mind, it was different. But in the case, the girl disappears, and so as Kobato's in the library trying to find out information, the girl appears before him, and he talks to the girl, and he calls her like, "Oh yeah, girl that almost got hit by a car," and the girl's like, "I have a name." Well, what's your name? Osanai.
Osanai.
So Osanai is directly involved in the Hiraka case, and it's interesting because at least in this like flashback, Hiraka doesn't have any semblance of like wanting to commit suicide. Like he ended up with a
Oh
broken
yeah,
rib.
and he tells Kabato, "Hey, don't look further into this. Tell the classmates like just drop this. It was just a freak accident. Don't fucking
Okay,
don't go any deeper."
okay, I'm Kobato. I'm weird. Not gonna
Yep.
happen. But no, yeah, he ends up with a broken wrist, and everyone's like, "Oh, there's rumors like that, like you broke your leg, you're never gonna be able to walk again." He's like, "Nah, I just can't hold a racket, so I can't perform in the summer tournament. It is what it is, But I'm not too beat up about it. I'll be fine, all good, you know."
Yep.
And unlike Kobato ends up, by the way, with a concussion, a broken rib, and a broken leg.
Yeah, his femur is like nailed together.
Yeah, and his femur is nailed together. Basically, he had surgery. He is not going to be in school for a while, so he is positive, and he's in pain. He's in
Oh,
legitimate pain.
Hiraka also has a busted rib.
He also has a busted rib.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. He's not nearly.
Yeah, because like when he laughs at something Kabato said, he like grabs his side in pain.
Yeah, and Kobato throughout the episode is in like severe pain. He is hurting. That boy
Yep.
needs to be on morphine. That boy, that boy needs Dilaudid. Have you ever had Dilaudid, Chris?
Have I read what?
Ever had Dilaudid?
Nope.
I speak wonders about this drug. If you ever, God forbid, are in the hospital in severe pain and it's severe enough, ask for Dilaudid. You can only have it once a week because it's so addictive. You can only have it once a week in the hospital. It is 10 times more powerful than morphine. That shit is fabulous. It is a fabulous ass drug. Would 100% recommend getting Dilaudid at least once in a severe hospital stay. It's the shit that they give cancer patients when they're on their last breath.
Well, I will try not to have a severe hospital stay.
It was great. They gave it to me when I got my gallbladder removed because I was in such pain. It was tremendous. The amount of warmth and like calm that goes to your mind before you pass the fuck out for 8 hours. Great shit. It is great shit. But in any case, solid episode of Shoshimin. Can't wait to see how this progresses and see how much more creepy Kobato and Osanai get in their time. Okay. And then with that said, finally, the only time probably this season that we're going to be able to close with our finale, we are closing with episode 9 of Fire Force season 3. Chris, what do you feel about Fire Force?
It's really good. I really love it. I saw the first season when it came out. Didn't really like get into it, but then I was like, I'm gonna give this another try because like the music, the openings were pretty good, and that usually gets me hooked on shows. And I was like, okay, this is fucking great. Let's fucking go. And then season 3, or then I read the manga. I was like, oh man, this is fucking crazy. And then this fucking ending. What do you mean this is connected to something else? And then I'm fucking all for seeing all this shit being animated.
I had been given that you should watch Soul Eater. I think it's Soul Eater, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you should watch Soul Eater. You should watch Soul Eater. I was like, I'll get to it eventually. And then when somebody told me, yeah, Soul Eater is basically the after thing of Fire Force.
Oh, you got spoiled on it. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soul Eater is
Fire Force is the prequel to Soul Eater.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, now I definitely am going to watch Soul Eater immediately after whenever the fuck Fire Force ends. How many more seasons of this do you think we're going to get?
One more after this.
You think one more?
Not much left. There's not much left.
Okay, I'm with it. And then as soon as that is done, I will watch Soul Eater. How long is Soul Eater?
A season, maybe 2 seasons.
2 seasons? Okay, that's not bad. I will go back and watch Soul Eater, and then I will complete this this
And
anthology.
then there's Soul Eater Not, which is a side story about that sort of takes place during Soul Eater, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the story.
So should I watch season 1, then the side story, then season 2?
No, watch the first 2 seasons, then Soul Eater Not if you want to. It doesn't really have anything to do with it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I was worried that you would say this is overhyped.
Oh no. It's great.
I love it. I love it. It's great. Up until I saw Windbreaker, I was like, oh, these are fucking amazing battles. And then I saw Windbreaker and I was like, I'm leaning more toward Windbreaker battles.
Oh yeah.
But in any case, yeah, episode 9. We pick up where we left off because I did capture episode 8 the last time. We pick up with Hibana talking to Sister Sumire and basically trying to run her down on like what, like you basically poison the other sisters with the Adolla bug, right? Like you turn them all into fucking infernals. And she's like, oh, you've always been smart. I'm glad you figured that out, right? And we basically come to find out as they continue to battle, Sister fucking Sumire is badass as fuck. She is badass as fuck. The reason why she's badass as fuck, as we come to find out later on, is she is one of the original pillars. She is over 250 years old. She is an original pillar. She is out to cause the great cataclysm. But basically, she shows, and it triggers Hibana immensely. Shows that she's like, "Why are you alive? You shouldn't be alive. You shouldn't be here." And she's like, "I'm not the only one." She's like, "I'll give you a parting gift before you die." And she brings out the Infernals, and the Infernals happen to be some of the children that were part of that fucking explosion that happened. And so Hibana's pissed off, but we find out some key information from Sister Sumire. Basically, the information is that A, she's a pillar. B, when all of the pillars are gathered and together and like cause, like they basically, when all the pillars are together, they can cause the great cataclysm. And of course, the 8th and final pillar is Shinra. So all the other seven pillars, for the most part, are together, with the exception of Shinra. And so and potentially Sho, but Sho's technically on their side for now. So Shinra is the last pillar. If the white
there's one more besides that, they haven't revealed who it is yet.
Oh really?
Yep.
Okay, so we're missing one.
They hinted to it during like the fight with Dragon, but they didn't specifically say, oh yes, this character is also a pillar.
Is he like the guy that had the glasses?
Who, Dragon?
I thought there was another guy besides Dragon.
No. Someone during the fight with Dragon unlocked their pillar capabilities, and there's 8 pillars in total.
Someone in the battle with Dragon unlocked their pillar abilities. Was it directly the battle with Dragon, or was it like...
it was during the battle with Dragon. When Dragon used the fire blast and almost killed everyone.
No fucking way. Is Maki or Tamaki?
It's not Maki.
Oh no, sister.
Yes.
Oh no! Are you serious?
She is the last pillar.
Oh my god! I mean, it's a spoiler for those who...
They hinted to it. It's I wouldn't have said anything.
A big spoiler. Wow, sister's a pillar. That makes sense, because then she transported them, I think. Was it not? Or does she...
No, she basically...
Oh, she prayed it away. She prayed it away.
Yes.
That's wild. That's fucking crazy. But in any case, so we find out about the pillars. We find out that the principle of spontaneous combustion, which is why I named today's podcast Adolla Podcast Dopplegangers. I don't know if you noticed that, Chris.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
We find out that the principle of spontaneous combustion is basically, as we know by now, for those who keep up with the Fire Force lore, Adolla, the Dopplegangers in Adolla are basically you in existence. It's a 1-for-1 ID match between the human world, and Adolla. So if you live there, you have an Adolla doppelganger. And basically, spontaneous combustion is when your Adolla doppelganger wants to like fuse with your human you. Obviously, you're human, you can't take that fire, and that's why you spontaneously combust. Right? So, and then that's how you and your doppelganger both die. So we find out that that's the true mystery behind spontaneous combustion. And then the final thing that we learn, did we learn something else, I think? Or was that it?
Um,
The Great Cataclysm is caused by the pillars. Sumire is the seventh pillar.
she's been around for 250 years.
Yes.
Uh,
I
oh,
think
um, uh, she's been using the sisters, and the orphanage in order to like
experiment. Yeah, but that was
yeah,
confirmed. Yeah.
yeah, to cultivate combustion.
Mm,
Combustion happens when the Adolla versions or the doppelgangers
yeah.
try to come to our world, and
Yeah. And so
yeah,
basically, they mentioned that the Great Cataclysm, in essence, is when the whole world of Adolla tries to fuse with the human world. That's what a Great Cataclysm essentially is. And she did mention also, she's like, the previous Great Cataclysm didn't work the way we wanted it to because there wasn't enough pillars at the time. There wasn't enough firepower,
yeah.
which is very interesting as well.
I
Um,
hope they I hope they show uh the her like backstory, Sumiri's backstory. I want them to show Sumiri's backstory because you'll never fucking comprehend what the fuck is going on, like I did when I read it. Oh man, it's gonna be so fucking good.
what the fuck? Okay, well, we'll see.
Uh,
And basically, they're kind of doomed if it wasn't for the fucking gravel kid that the attendee. He
yeah.
busts them out, and Sumire, like I said, is badass. She uses the principle of shivering. She's so hot, she's cold, and she basically can cause earthquakes and
She,
fucking. She
she's
just
using she's using the property of cells moving fast to
yeah,
create vibration,
yeah,
like cells heating up and to create vibrations.
and she's badass, and they can't touch her right now. They cannot touch her, and so they would be fucked if it wasn't for Gravel-kun. Gravel-kun busts them out. They escape, and Sister Sumire shot disappears back into the darkness. But now her
Oh
identity,
yeah, and she also talks to a fucking like ghost spirit inside of Adolla.
and it seems that all of the what's it called, the pillars have some sort of connected ghost spirit, right? Or
Yes.
maybe unless she's like, you're that old.
Well, no, it's probably because she's that old and she has a connection to like probably a previous pillar who was tricked into doing this, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about that ghost spirit person, but going into the rest of the episode, fetch quest. Fetch quest for Arthur. He needs to go do a fetch quest for his imagination so he can find Orichalcum. So he can make a better Excalibur.
And so he can get off his saddle of the fact that he didn't beat the dragon.
Yep.
I didn't give a fuck about this part. I didn't
Don't
give a
worry.
fuck about this
Don't
part.
worry. We're gonna get a good payoff next episode.
I didn't give a fuck about this so much. I missed the conversation basically between Benimaru and Joker. They had like a conversation trying to plan their next move. In essence,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
But
that's about it. Nothing
yeah,
else.
Arthur. Instead of going to where they were supposed to go, which is back in the beginning of their quest, he leads them into the sewers in order to try and figure out in order to try and find their Orichalcum.
Yeah,
And
and
then
the Orichalcum is basically a metal stronger than the metal that he had, even though the metal he had was basically some like some heat resistant carbon fiber that you can buy at the Home Depot.
yeah.
So that was kind of funny. It's like, oh, this is just made out of carbon fiber from Home Depot, which you could never get carbon fiber in fucking Home Depot in real life.
Yeah.
And carbon fiber costs an arm and a leg. But this is anime, and it's a far away time, so makes sense that they would just use carbon fiber at Home Depot. And that's it. I think that's it. Closing thoughts, Chris?
Good week. It was a pretty good week.
I really go ahead.
I need to watch. I need to watch all my shows. I'm so behind on so many shows. Like
How
I'm
many more
still
shows? Like 20? No,
well,
you got
no.
Mm.
Like for some of my shows, I'm still on like episode 4. Like for Apocalypse Hotel.
Yeah.
I want to see because Miru is finally fucking out. I want to at least see like an episode or two to figure out what's going on, like what the show is about.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, then you can watch that and then talk about that next week when I'm not here.
Yeah.
I really had a realization before we go. I had a realization that really, I was like, I have no strong feelings about anything that's past like really in my top 5. 6 through 13, I have no real strong connection to. I could take them or leave them. I only truly care about the top 5. And I think you guys can guess in terms of what my top 5 is and what I like. I won't tell you what order, but I think you can put 2 and 2 together. Other than that, I was like everything this season for the most part, except for number 6. Number 6 onwards is not a chore. 7 downwards, actually, I lied. There's one that's not in the top 6 that I don't find a chore. Everything else is a chore. I find watching anime this season to be a chore, so that sucks. But it is what it is. That's my final thought. All right. With that said, we're going to go ahead and close up shop here at the Otalku Cafe. You can follow Chris on social media at Chris Zephyr, as you can see down on his title, CRYSZEPHYR. That is Twitter, that is Instagram. So you can follow Chris wherever you want to follow Chris at. You can follow me at Anime Daisuke 24 at my Instagram, my Twitter, Showstopper24. You can follow me there too. You can follow Matt at Violet Evergarden. No, he's not Violet Evergarden. He's a House Husband cosplay now. Matt is House Husband cosplay. You can follow our pages on Instagram, on Twitter, on Threads, on Twitch. No, we don't have a Twitch yet. But basically those 3. Follow us at Otalku Cafe. You could follow us wherever you catch your local podcasts: Apple, Spotify, iHeartMedia, Amazon, wherever you listen to your podcast. You could catch us out. Just type in Otaku Cafe. You could Google search us. Google search Otaku Cafe. You'll find all of our replays that are available on both W2M Network, Chairshot Media, and Dirt Sheet Radio. Thank you so much for those 3 for always hosting us and allowing us to be a part of your platform. Thank you, Sean, for being our editor as usual. And I think I've got everything. It's never as clean as Matt does it, but I try to do my very best. But that's it for this week, folks. Stay tuned next week. It'll be Matt and Chris in the saddle while I am at Forbidden Kingdom acting a fool and listening to dubstep like crazy. And then I hope to reconvene with you guys as we approach closer to the finale of spring. But with that said, Chris, any final words?
Stay weird.
Stay weird. Minasan, oyasu nasai.
The sun goes to sleep, I find myself in a heap because it hurts so much to be away from you. It makes my day when I get a text from you, but still I say goodbye again. Let's hope this isn't the last time that I see your face, but hey, it's fine. I know everybody needs a little space. There's no one to blame. Goodbye again. Let's hope this isn't the last time that I hear your voice, but it's your choice. I can't keep you here forever. Just promise me that you'll come back.